So this is a personal note. This is something I want to record for me, so that if I ever ask myself this question, I will have a record of what the answer is. Today we finally had the power company come by and remove a few trees up near the end of our road, at the end of our driveway, that we've been wanting them to remove for about 6 months now. So now we can kind of clean up that area and make it look more presentable, make it feel like home when you're driving into it, not just another trail in the woods. So what is it that I need to record for record? For the record, my capacity for lifting and towing on my tractor is that big size of a white oak. Y'all, I didn't think to record it while I was doing it, and now I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because it probably would have raised some red flags with some people. But there's that white oak, and I don't even know how long it is or what the diameter is, but there's my tractor, my L4600 Kubota, and I had her up on 2 wheels dragging that log up the driveway. That was kind of scary. I say 2 wheels, don't get too crazy. I mean, the wheels came about 4 inches off the ground before I simply readjusted the boom in the back. But y'all, let me tell you, when I got a tractor, some friends of mine were telling me what implements to get, and I believe, and I apologize if I'm misattributing things here, but I believe it was Tommy Alderman at Alderman Farms that said, make sure you get a boom. You're gonna want a boom. And boy, it proved its $100 worth today. I mean, just look at that thing. Big old log. So the rush here is that the power company took down the trees, and now we don't know whether or not the county is going to try to come by and remove the wood. And some of it's pine, some of it's sweet gum, but that is white oak, and we don't need them taking that. That's good burning wood. So I'm trying to bring every usable piece of that wood back up onto the property and store it until I can process it. Let me show you what the mess is looking like now. So I'm standing on top of my tractor to try to give you a better view, but there's that big white oak, and if you haven't seen the story before about how we are propagating this oak, make sure you check that eye bar up there in the corner. We're not just chopping this down and being done with it. There's a purpose for all this, and we're trying to make sure that the tree gets to propagate. We're trying to make sure the tree propagates. So anyway, that's where that big white oak log came from. And just on the other side of the pile there, I've got some more logs, but they're nowhere near as big. And then over on this other side, we had that other tree taken down. And now with these trees down, once we get all the debris moved, you see that hill there? Our road frontage goes about 3 feet past the sign there. That's our sign that says no spraying, beehives present. So we're going to clear out this dirt, level it off a bit, and do some more landscaping up here that makes this a little more welcoming. And we'll do the same thing over here. Again, the property line's about 3 feet past that sign, and we'll do the same thing over here. We're working on fixing up this driveway, but really it's just one thing at a time. Gravel is extremely expensive. So let me show you these other logs. So now the difficulty with getting to these is that they are right on the road, and there's a bend in the road right there. So I can bring my tractor over here, and most of these I think I can pick up with the front end loader. It's just a matter of needing to get somebody to make sure nobody comes around that corner at 55 miles an hour like they like to do, even though this is a 35-mile-an-hour road. So that's the next challenge, is to get the bulk of that. Now I would love to take all these branches and throw them through a chipper, but I just don't know that I'm going to get around to that. I haven't fired up my own chipper in a long time. At least here I've got half of the work done, but most of these would have to get chipped down even more, or cut up more, just so I can fit them into the throat of the chipper. So we'll see where it goes from there. So anyway, I just could not believe that I actually moved that log with the tractor. I did it really slow because I was really nervous about it. I'd never done anything like that before, certainly not to that size. I've moved some logs and some saplings, but nothing like almost the entire trunk of a white oak. So now I know my limits. And I won't ever try to move anything that's bigger than that again, I assure you, especially not if I have to go uphill. It did just fine going downhill, but I certainly don't want to ever try to go uphill and end up flipping my tractor over. Originally, the log was on top of all of this here, so it was actually even perpendicular to the driveway. So I had a bit of artistry here trying to even get it so it was perpendicular, or excuse me, so it was parallel with the road, and so I could drive it straight. For a little while there, I was nervous that if I pulled it out too far, that it was just going to roll on me. So while it was still stopped up, while one of the ends was still all up in here, I had to do that pivoting and make sure that I was pointing straight downhill, or at least that's what made sense and felt good and safe. So, but anyway, the task is done, and now I know what my limits are. Thank you all for watching, and thanks so much to all of our Patreons who support us. We will talk to all of you next time. Bye.